there, St. Luke's. Good to be back with you all for this midweek message. I'm sitting here on Wednesday morning, January 29th, wondering where the entire month of January went. But also just getting ready for the continuation of our Genesis Bible study tonight, despite the fact that we had to take, obviously, last Wednesday off because of the polar vortex that we all survived. And by the way, I'm grateful that so many of you came out to church on Sunday. Obviously, we sent that email just to alert you of the fact that we did our best, but there was still some residual ice and snow in the parking lot because we move here in part to not have to deal with some of these things. And but I'm grateful to say that not only did we have good numbers on Sunday, but also no one got hurt. So there was a couple of slips here and there, no falls. And praise God for that. So, and also last Sunday, I'm just sort of reflecting on it, was our annual meeting as promised, and there was a great turnout for that. And it was, I always approach these meetings with a little bit of fear and trembling, I have to admit, just because it's a little bit like I don't know, I guess what a CEO must have meet like a shareholders meeting. You have to give, sort of yearly reports on how the company's doing. And so this is sort of like a family meeting. When I was growing up, we used to have family meetings, and sometimes the family meetings were pleasant, and sometimes they were to address concern or to resolve some conflict. And so I'm glad to say that by and large, this was an extremely positive family meeting, our annual report. And I'm going to link to this. You can find it. But Jessica did a wonderful job of compiling all of the reports from the various ministries and clergy and lay leadership in our church. But suffice it to say, it was the most fun I've had presenting for an annual report meeting, because it was all good news. It was there was excitement, there was life, there was joy, there was just a real sense of God's presence with us, as there has been, and as there by His grace will be, as long as we continue to, as Acts 2 says, continue in the apostles' teaching, the fellowship, the breaking of the bread, and the prayers. And so I will link to this after this, behind this. There's also a video of the the annual meeting that I will put at the end of this clip, and also we will link to, I believe, either the service or the sermon. So anyway, all of those are for your edification, and I hope that you will avail yourself of them. And also, this is just reminding me, if you haven't yet liked this channel or subscribed to this YouTube channel, please do so. It helps our algorithm, and it's encouraging to see. I think there's something like 800 people or so subscribed, or members. I don't know exactly. I can find that out easily, yet not in the middle of this recording. So at any rate, so I have just a few announcements about things coming up and want to make you aware of them. So first of all, this Sunday, during the Rector's Forum, the Rector's Forum will actually be held in the sanctuary, and the Discovery class will be in the Kron's Fellowship Hall, because we're welcoming our very own Sandra Bowden back to give us a tour and an expose, an explanation of the wonderful Marc Chagall art exhibit that they have graciously allowed us to display in our sanctuary. So if you haven't yet been able to check it out, this is your time. We'll do our best to record it, although it's going to be better in person, I can assure you, because we're going to walk and sort of see the various paintings up close and around the sanctuary. But mark your calendar for that. It's an amazing gift that they allow us to sort of showcase. It's very generous and thoughtful, and it really does sort of dovetail nicely with our theological convictions here, that there is truth, goodness, and beauty that God has revealed to us, and it comes in many forms. And in no other better place than in the sanctuary of the worship to the triune God Himself, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, should we have all sort of artifacts and expressions of goodness, truth, and beauty, which is why we do our best with the music, with the prayers, with the sermons, with the vestiture, with the building, and with the art. And so we are so grateful for this and look forward to hearing more about it. I will be in the Discovery class teaching our adult confirmation, reception, and reaffirmation class. But I'm grateful that we'll record it, because I look forward to hearing more about Marc Chagall, as do you. And that reminds me, it's not too late, but it's almost too late to join our discovery class. So the discovery class is for you if you would like to be confirmed. If you've never been confirmed and you would like to be, I can talk to you about what confirmation means, but at the end of the day, what it means is that you will be the faith that God has given you by His grace. You will, in public, before the bishop, have that confirmed by the laying on of hands, which is a very historic sort of action done by church leadership all the way down through the ages. And so the bishop will be here, and he will lay his hands on your head, and he will confirm your profession of the faith that God has given you by His grace and in His mercy. And so that's one. If you have been confirmed in another church, but you would like to be received into the Anglican Church, like for instance, if you were confirmed in a Lutheran church or or the Roman Catholic Church, or those two particulars ones we usually find, then we will receive you, and that will recognize that you've already been confirmed, but now you are a confirmed Anglican. And then finally, there's one that I'd love for some of you to consider, and we could talk, because you're more than welcome to do some of the discovery class online, particularly if this is your, where you are, as a, excuse me, it's like on a news desk. But anyway, if you would like to be reaffirmed, and that's just simply a recognition that in public, with the bishop's blessing, you are going to reaffirm. I'm going to have to get this. Well, that was Jessica. She says hi. But at any rate, she was telling me that we've just put the annual report up on the website, so I will have that link for you. Where was I? Oh, yes. If you would like to be reaffirmed, then that will be for you. And then finally, if you may be someone you've done all that, but you want to get to know sort of your clergy better from a theological perspective, and you have some questions, and you want to just know a little bit more about what this Anglican thing is all about. What is this church? What does it mean, the prayer book? What does this small c Catholic universal Christian mean? All these things. Well, this is for you. And of course, we have these up by God's grace. I shouldn't say of course, because it can be quite challenging technically, but we are doing our best to record them all, to get them up on YouTube, and so you may just be interested to just watch it online, which is perfectly fine. Although I must say, it is nice to have a big group when the bishop comes. And so I may be approaching some of you who I think could, in good conscience, do the reaffirmation at the very least, and we could talk about having just a good, robust representation when the bishop comes to us for confirmation. Okay, that's what's going on this Sunday. On Monday, we are having our BMOC evening meeting. This is just quarterly now. We do something different on the other months of the year, but this is so we're excited. We've already had good turnout and sign-ups for this. We're welcoming a relatively new member to our church named Sam Voorhees, who spent many years as a executive and working with an organization called World Vision. And so that is a mission organization that's global, and he's got a wonderful testimony and inspiring story, and you will not want to miss this, and you will not want to forget to bring a friend. This is, again, what I say, this is one of the sort of side entrances to the church. Very low barrier of entrance. We're not even going to go into the sanctuary. So if you have a friend who you think, might be interested in getting back involved in church, but, might not be able to come just right on Sunday morning to start off, well, this is a great opportunity to invite him. And so that is from on Monday. Okay, that's the last one this time. BMOC dinner is at 5:30 on February 3rd, 5:30 in the Kron's Fellowship Hall. We have the Hog Heaven guys, who we just cannot thank enough for our providing a delicious meal. We'll have great fellowship. We'll have wonderful, inspiring talk and testimony by Sam, and a good time will be had by all. So please mark your calendar, February 3rd, the BMOC meeting. Okay, two other upcoming things which I'll just continue to talk about. Actually, one is a little bit self-serving maybe, but we're having, there is being thrown a baby shower for Liza, my wife, and our new little baby boy, whose name is still yet to be determined. We can't give him 6 names, and so we have to narrow it down to, we can't give him 4 names. We have to narrow it down to 2, right? And so, I guess some people have 4 or 5 names, but It's always never sat right with me. But at any rate, so no offense to any of you who do, but there we go. So the still as of yet unnamed boy, who is going to be coming fairly soon, it will be having a shower for him. Details to follow, but mark your calendar in the Kron's Fellowship Hall on Saturday, February 22nd. And so that will be a wonderful time, and I'm sure, and I look forward to, I know Laza will be edified, and as of yet unnamed little baby Coke 7, number 7, will be very grateful for whatever it is that you bring to shower Laza with for his use. Okay, and finally, we are having a conference, To Be Human, ourselves, our souls, our bodies, at the end of February. And we are past the point of critical mass, so we're grateful for that. But we have some spots open still, and I would really encourage you to consider coming. This conference will be not just something that will edify you intellectually, but as what conferences do, the people that you meet there, the sort of shared sense of purpose and concern and hope that will be sort of emanate throughout all of the various talks and worship, and the sort of new friendships, the old friendships that will be strengthened and the new that will be formed and then forged, there's nothing like it really. And so we're excited about this. There are people coming from all over the country. The speakers are literally world-class speakers that are renowned. We're going to have a book table with all the various offerings. We're going to have a social on Thursday night. There's a festival Eucharist on Friday afternoon. That will be February 28th. Friday, February 28th, we will have at 4 o'clock a festival Eucharist where our own Bishop Chip Egger will be presiding. And so you won't want to miss that. And even if you don't come to the conference, you are invited to that. And so I'll be speaking more about that, but we'd love to have a good turnout for the bishop on February 29th. So anyway, there's a lot going on. There's a lot life. There's a lot of joy. Pray for this weekend. We have our new vestry retreat. So the 5 new vestry members that we elected this past Sunday will be we'll have an initiation of sorts, or at least an information initiation, and we get sort of lay out the roles and responsibility of vestry members. And we're so grateful for the outgoing vestry, and we're just our cup runneth over. I think that's really safe to say. And so continue to pray for this fair church. The leadership. We always covet your prayers. The various the people who, as we say in our one of our collects, who work or watch or weep this night. The people who are struggling, who are dealing with sickness and sort of adversities. You know who they are. Keep them in your prayers. The Lord is merciful and faithful, and He hears our petitions, and He is good, and He is the healer. He's the redeemer and the restorer. And so please continue to look at your bulletin with the list of people that are prayers. And even if you don't know exactly who they are, you can always lift them up. And then we will have resources, of course, our prayer book resources, but also in our service. And we will continue to be a lighthouse here in Hilton Head for the gospel that will, Jesus says, as I am lifted up, I will draw all men unto me. And we continue to see that. We're grateful for it, and we continue to walk in His fear and admonition, knowing that that's the way of wisdom, but also it's the way of life. So, at any rate, I look forward to seeing you all. Some of you tonight, if this comes out this afternoon, but if not, then certainly some of you this weekend with the vestry retreat, and many of you, by God's grace, as we gather again on Sunday to worship the Lord in spirit and in truth. Okay, well, that's what I got. So until we see you again, take care and God bless.